Hi, I'm Becklane, and this is Catalyst and Company. Catalyst and Company, where we're catalysts in each other's lives as well as catalysts in our own, and hopefully we become the artists we've always wanted to be. Most of the time, that involves showering, unless it doesn't. And I haven't showered in a couple days because I've been completely involved in developing this particular painting behind me. I haven't been this proud of one painting, I think, since Queen. Queen, the painting I did last summer. I'm very, very proud of me. It's taken multiple times going back to the canvas to find its way, but I think we really found it. But before I get into how and all of that stuff, I just want to say thank you to Dawn. Dawn, who sent me an Amazon card so I was able to keep painting. I got probably 3-4 dozen inexpensive synthetic brushes that I love to use. I was able to get new brushes because none of the brushes that I have are in good shape. They're like a monkey took them and just like mashed them into the ground for a month or two. They're just a train wreck. So I was able to get a lot of filberts. Filberts are my favorites, and flatheads too. So I was really able to dig into this. But I was also able to get paint by Gamblin. I'm very specific on my colors, and I know Gamblin inside and out, so I was able to get what I need, which was the 1980 turquoise, which is a really light turquoise that's used throughout the painting. The Gamblin 1980 version is thinner than their regular version. It's thinner and it's much lighter than their regular brand turquoise, but I love it. I love both of them, actually. But that one's just got like a more playful tone to it. I got the radiant blue, which is used in here a lot instead of white. You'd be surprised how little white is actually in that dress. It's Gamblin Radiant Blue, and their Portland that we talked about in one video, Portland Gray. A lot of that is used, as well as, of course, Titanium Buff. Thank you so much, Dawn. Look at how much of it I've used already in just a few days. And I was able to get transparent red oxide. I talk about transparent earth red a lot. That's the regular brand Gamblin Artist Colors transparent earth red. The 1980 version is half the price, has the same effect. It is a little bit thinner, but the color is almost exactly the same, and the effects are almost exactly the same. So this tube cost as much as one of the tiny tubes of transparent earth red. So I've been getting a lot of red oxide lately, and my friend Stacy in North Carolina turned me onto it. I'm really glad she did because I love it. So I got those paints, I think a couple more and some more brushes. So thank you so much, Dawn. You helped me to keep moving through this painting, and it happens to be a painting I'm very proud of. You won't hear me say that very often because I normally just do the work and don't think about it. But I'm so excited by this one. Have you ever just had a project just take up every inch of you so much that you get out of bed and then the next thing you know, it's the next day and you're still working on it. You have no idea where time has gone. That's what happened to me on this one. If you go to my Facebook page and my Instagram page, you'll see different iterations of the painting in different stages. And yesterday, I thought for sure we were really, really close to done. We were not even close. If you look at the posts, you'll see that her face has a lot of gold up here. The lighting was really off, and I was struggling with it, and that's because I hadn't filled in the filigree behind her on this side of the canvas. This had all been worked on. This side was all kind of laid out and highlighted and darkened and blah, blah, blah. But this side was left pretty blank. So that occurred last night, and then the lightening and the darkening. And that's what got me to finish her face and then go in and finish her dress as well. But I gotta tell you something really, really cool. So in the reference material, which is kind of a blurry photograph, I noticed that the bottom of this wall hanging, and this is what it is a wall hanging in a 19th century photography studio. the wall hanging is actually kind of like a piece of paper, maybe early 1900s is when this was done. It doesn't matter, but it's like a wall. It's a wall hanging or a piece of wallpaper that's been hung, or a tapestry or something. I noticed that there were lines. It was really hard to see, but I saw lines. So I started following the lines with my brush. I also drew and chalked the lines so they wouldn't be all over the place, but I wouldn't be shooting off in different directions. But I started following the lines. So you can't see it in the camera, but there's line work down below. There's line works, diagonals up above. There's diagonals here. What it does besides add a different texture is it highlights the texture and the lights and the darks in her dress. It highlights her face. Her face is so smooth now in comparison to the almost imperceptible lines in the wallpaper, in the designs behind her, using lights and darks. Now, someone on Facebook asked me how I paint linen, because I love painting cottons. I love painting materials, but I love painting white cotton especially. I don't know why. I love it. It could be that when I was younger, my mom sewed all over our clothes, and I loved the smell of an iron and Niagara spray starch on cotton. I love that smell, and it's probably embedded in me. That, and we had a housekeeper who would iron our bed sheets, and that smell and the feel of crisp white cotton is embedded in my blood. So I love painting it. And someone asked me today how I paint it, and it's complicated and it's simple at the same time. It's intricate, and yet as you can see, it's big and clunky. It's layering. It's just layering and layering and layering. I know a lot of painters want to come in with thick white paint. They're painting a white shirt. They want to come in with thick white paint first. Ta-da, it's done. That's not how it works. Underneath all of this should be layers of aerosol, like blues and teal aerosols, kind of drawing out lines. Then on top of that are blue and teal oils. Then there's either the red oxide or transparent earth red, making more lines. Then on top of that are mixtures of blues. On top of that are mixtures of the radiant blue and transparent earth red and titanium buff. It's just layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. You just have to hold patience while you're doing it. That's all it is. It is a process and an exercise made up of layers and patience with those layers. The last layer would be actually using an actual white, and I use titanium white, but only in the sleeve, only here, the sleeve here, and I think just a couple of the little ruffles down below. The rest are all mixtures of blues, of the radiant blue with a darker blue that's also been mixed with red oxide. So it's a trick of the eye. All of this is just trick of the eye. It's not painting literally. Like here is a crease. I don't paint literally. It is always a trick of the eye. A trick of the eye. And I'll give you an example. Up in the painting we have the chandelier. To connect them both, and to help the flow move, we've got boom, boom, boom. We've got boom, boom, boom. The eye keeps moving with the gold, gold, gold. But also the gold highlights in her face help to kind of turn it a little bit and balance it out here and there. So with the eye and even with the camera, it's playing with your vision. It's all trick of the eye. This all looks like white. It's not. It's radiant blue mixed with Portland gray, mixed with titanium buff. Like there's all these colors that are all mixed in until the final layer when we use whites. Maybe sometime I'll go in and explain it a little bit more. But it's a lengthy process. It is a process of patience. There we are. Anyway, I'm Becklane, And now, thank you so much, Dawn, again for the paint and the brushes. And now I am out of canvas. So if anyone would like to help get canvas, all the links are down below. There are links to different sites like Patreon, where you can supply monthly support. And thank you, Patreon supporters. You did buy some canvas for me earlier this month. Thank you. Thank you. But right now, Michael's is having a sale. Buy one, get three. And so the 3-for-1 sale I'd really like to take advantage of. Have no money because, walked out of my job. So if you'd like to help me with that, we've got Patreon, we've got TeePublic, which I just got paid for yesterday. TeePublic, where you can buy images of my work on posters, prints, mugs, blah, 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 kid bags. There's also Cash App, PayPal, and Amazon. All those links are down below. I would love a Michael's gift card, though. If you can help me out, that would be awesome, and I would love you and appreciate it forever. And by the way, Bill, thank you so much for thinking of me for Father's Day. You were a riot. That was a great conversation the other day. And ready, Carrie? Carrie, I hope you're getting better every day. And I'm glad to hear from you. All right, ready, Carrie? Here we go. Chow. Meow. Chow, chow, chow. Meow, meow, meow. Boink.